Recording has started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 7, the final week of the regular season of Season 18 Pickems. They fly by so fast. I am Broken Pinky, as always, joined by a special guest. Introduce yourself.
You know, I don't know how special it is, considering I've been here for 7 weeks, but...
You're so fucking special, baby. Don't you worry.
Yeah, so special in being that I think I'm the only guest we have had on the channel that is at risk of being out of playoffs.
I mean...
That hasn't dropped. I mean, technically, Orange... Well, we're going to talk about this right up here. But Orange technically could also
is not at risk of being out of playoffs. She's out of playoffs.
Yeah, she's just out of playoffs. It's a little different. So, UBL Season 18, the records. We are doing this portion still. It's Week 7. We would be stupid not to do this section. The 1 week it actually matters. Yeah, let's do it in Week 6, but not in 7.
And Week 5, don't forget.
We did do it briefly in Week 5 as well. But let's give a little quick update. So far, we have basically 5 teams that are clinched. You could argue that nobody is not clinched yet. But...
I briefly argued that. By briefly,
Pinky,
I mean like 3 seconds.
Pinky argued that before I said no, and then said, okay. But we have Gig at 6-0 with a plus 11 differential. Rat at 5-1 plus 8. Winda at, Kathy at 4-2 plus 7. Winda at 4-2 plus 5. And then nobody at 4-2 plus 3. We have one coach who is likely to make playoffs, but there is actually a chance that they do not make playoffs. Now, of course, I am talking about Orange, who's at 4-2-1, and currently we have 4 coaches battling it out for the last 2 or 3, if Orange ends up missing out, spots in playoffs. That is Pyrus at 4-3 plus 1, myself at 3-3 plus 1, Big E at 3-3 minus 1, and Aegis at 2-4 minus 2.
I thought we said that Pyrus was guaranteed playoffs. I forget. Is there a mathematical way that he misses? Because I don't think...
Yes, right? If Orange wins...
Oh, yeah, if you win and
I
if Gig
win
wins.
and Big E wins.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there is a way for Pyrus to lose. I guess technically we could label Pyrus yellow, where it's more likely... Then again, you never know. You never know, especially because one of the matchups, spoilers, is Gig versus me, and that's a matchup between 2 top players. You never know how those matchups go. Ignore the statistics that say I'm 1-6.
I mean, yeah.
Statistics, who's that?
Gonna be
Who's that? I don't know.
What?
I don't know who Statistics is. Weird name for a person.
Yeah, stats never matter.
Yeah, I know, right? Stats never matter. That's why we're actually going to put all 14 names into a hat and pick 8 for playoffs.
And the first seed is Shandy.
True. No, it's actually Gambit. It's actually Kit, who dropped this season. She
Kit
actually
and
just
then
wins.
Shandy.
Yeah. Their names are pulled 4 times each, so they just have to play 4 best of 3s. And then a 5th tiebreaker.
Ooh, and then a 6th true finals, and then Thug finals versus Cannor.
Yeah, where I cash in a little wrestling lingo here, where I cash in the contract to get my guaranteed title shot, and then I lose.
Just
versus
like
Shandy.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Oh. Maybe the worst fight I've ever seen in my lifetime.
That wasn't even a fight. They were just hugging it out.
What does Jake Paul and what does the Jake Paul fight and the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight have in common with my browser history? It's a lot of young guys. I'm not finishing.
Gay porn. Okay.
Yep. That's the punchline. That's the punchline.
And if we look,
it's just gay porn.
Don't worry, we'll get to gay porn later when we get to Kathy's team. But first up, we have Aegis versus Big E.
Woo, 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 woo. We're repurposing the alarm for this week. This is what we call a playoff match. This is a match for playoffs. The winner is guaranteed, almost, kind of, to make playoffs. Technically, Big E can miss playoffs if you well, technically Aegis can lose playoffs if they win, but
Yeah, there's technically a world where Aegis wins and still doesn't make playoffs. However,
Yes.
comma,
But
it
it
is
is
most
still-
likely.
it is still a playoff implication match for both coaches.
It's most likely whoever wins this match is going to make playoffs. There's a small chance that Aegis wins and doesn't make it, but the likeliest outcome is that whoever wins makes playoffs.
Yeah. So this is a battle for playoffs, which obviously is a lot of stakes. It's very intense. And let's take a deeper look, actually, at the matchup.
First thing I'm seeing is Mega Scizor is very, very good into Aegis' team. It means you have to bring Entei, which is terrible into this Rain team.
Yeah, I wonder though, because I mean, Aegis does have plenty of tools to stop the rain. I mean, we've got Meowscarada, which just dunks on the Politoed and
Politoed.
Sinistra, not T. That's the ghost baby.
Sinistra.
But it honestly, like, you have Amon that can deal with both of those, and the issue is that's kind of where its main utility nosedives off a cliff. Obviously, I would be like, oh, you're gonna have to be worried about Sneasler, except not really, because there's not really a reliable way to get it, with Unburden. But obviously, booster speed Jugulus is the big problem here.
I am looking something up real fast because I know the distribution went down. It doesn't. Okay, Meowscarada does not get Sunny Day. That'd be really nice. I think Lop gets it. Yes, Lop gets Sunny Day, and you'd want to bring Lop anyway.
Yeah. Uh-oh. No.
So yeah,
I lost you for a second. No.
No. Yeah, my
Like,
Discord.
yeah, you want to bring Lop
fucked up.
anyways. And then
You want to
just
bring
stop.
Lop anyway, and you click the Sunny Day.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
honestly, if you
don't
get
bring
Sunny
Lop,
Day,
you lose to
don't.
Arch.
Like, if you honest to God, if you get Sunny Day up, Entei is insane here, dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh
There's
my God, there is
the fire
nothing
resist
for it.
Politoed. If you kill the Politoed with your Meowscarada, then Entei wins.
Or if you just like kill the partners for Politoed, because I don't even think Politoed can one-shot that thing. Obviously, in
Oh,
Sonic
no
can't.
shot. Even in clear skies, Politoed's not one-shotting with Entei.
Oh.
Entei's fat.
And you might even be able to actually make it so your Entei lives in the rain using the power of Grimmsnarl. And I gotta say, Grimmsnarl is fucking incredible here.
Oh,
shocker.
true. Actually,
Shocker. Saying Grimmsnarl is incredible in a matchup that's going to, be a battle of numbers. Because I
bro,
think
Grim doesn't
both
get
of
Sunny Day either. They get fucking nothing Sunny Day after Gen 7.
Yeah, I mean, both your two fastest Pokemon get it. Like, you can run Sunny Day Arrow, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
But why would you bring Aerodactyl here? Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, if you want to bring Tailwind, you bring Aerodactyl here.
I guess.
Because, in theory, you can go Scarf Aerodactyl, which is always faster than Checulus. You could. I'm not recommending it. I just want to make that very clear. I am not
I
recommending
do not recommend it. Like,
even though these episodes come out after the matchup, so it doesn't really matter if I'm recommending it or not, but...
Yeah. I mean, like, Arrow is kind of cool because, like, if you're scared of the Sneasler with the Sash, you can dual Wing Beat and it kills it, probably.
Yeah, it should. It should always kill.
It should. But...
I'm not checking.
Yeah.
So
Arrow
fair
is
enough.
terrible, aside from that. I mean, you can Stone Edge or Rocks of the Jug.
Scizor probably also does like 80% minimum.
Scizor definitely kills you,
Bullet
and you do
Punch.
like Scizor with Bullet Punch does more to you than you do with Fire Fang back, which is very
Especially
funny.
because I mean this thing's gonna only really be super present on the field when Politoed is there.
Yeah.
I do think Sash Aerodactyls like it's like a decent sixth mon because like Dragalge is pretty bad here, Behem's pretty bad here. Wartortle, it's not great here, but you have to run it anyways.
Dragalge is nice because it's slower than all the Trick Room guys, so you can run like counter Trick Room if you expect the Sinistcha to click Trick Room. However, there's no real reason for Sinistcha to click Trick Room.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even really seeing a way Sinistra can actually guarantee Trick Room, because I mean, you look at Big E's side, there's no redirection, so you have to contend with that. You do have Fake Out,
Sinistra.
obviously. Yeah, right, yeah. You have Sinistra. I guess you can run like Sinistra Stantler, which I believe he ran last week. But the issue is, if you're running that works into a team that's a little bit lower powered and more, you know exactly what it's going to be doing every single turn, like Warwee's team does. This team, you actually don't really super know what it's going to do on any given turn, because there's a lot of options. Like, there's a ton of sets for Goldango, ton of Grimmsnarl sets. There's a lot of stuff that Entei can do. Meowscarada can also do a lot. Lopunny doesn't, but, I mean, still. You've got 4 Pokemon on the team that can do a lot at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
And I will say, Goldango is very, very strong here if you just deal with Jugulus. And I'll be honest with you, this team does not have a lack of options to deal with Jugulus. You just kind of have to deal with it before it deals with you. The issue then becomes, obviously, it can let off hurricanes or it can let off air slashes, so how do you really deal with it super effectively? But then you have stuff like Aerodactyl. Like, this is why we're saying Aerodactyl could be an effective 6th mon on this team, because it does deal with Jugulus very efficiently. It deals with a lot of things pretty efficiently. Doesn't necessarily deal with them on its own, but it will help whittle them away so that your other Pokemon can come in and win the game. Like, even if you're a couple turns behind, I mean, if you're getting Sunny Day set up with Lopunny, or you're getting Sunny Day set up with Aerodactyl, like, a couple turns behind, Entei can come back in, and it's completely fine. Now, here's the big caveat to that. You cannot, under any circumstances, hit Archaludon until you are ready to kill it that turn. Because if you're just planning on whittling it away, it's going to have a ton of defense boosts, and guess what this team cannot deal with? A bunch of defense boosted Archaludon.
Yeah, your only option is Haze Wartortle at that point. Because as soon as Lop...
Then it just, Electroshock kills your Wartortle anyways.
Yeah, if this thing gets to +2 defense, Lop CC is going to bounce right off it, and it just folds to body press, and then your Entei does nothing. You could, like, Shadow Ball from Goldango isn't going to be doing much. Like, you'd have to be a freak and run some shit like Focus Blast Goldango if you actually want to deal with a super defense boosted Archaludon. Which,
yeah,
like,
well, to be fair, I mean, if you run Nasty Plot Goldango, you can deal with it. Does like 80% at +2.
Even through
Into
AV?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Archaludon has like 30. Well, like 50 or 60. No, I guess it's 65.
It's 65.
But,
I knew that off the dome.
Goldango, let's say it's just Nasty Plot leftovers. +2. I mean, this isn't very infested, but 116 special attack Goldango on Timid is doing 54.8 to 64.4. If you make that modest, you're doing 59.8 to 70.5.
That's some good damage.
And if it's 252, it's 65.9 to 78.1.
Yeesh.
Which means, from that point, you're going to actually be able to kill even through +1 with this. Or you should, at least. I don't really think you can't live it with this Lopunny close combat. But obviously, there's a couple things that are a little complicated for that. Like, Sneasler can run normal gem, and it becomes kind of a little bit of an issue. Like, that is a little bit of an issue for Lopunny, because it makes it so that Sneasler outspeeds and fakes you out. Because you have Scrappy instead of Inner Focus, unfortunately. You would really, really love Inner Focus. Specifically, just in this matchup specifically, is what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even a lot of the time, Inner Focus is just better. But
I mean,
it's nice for Lop.
It's one of those where if you were Aegis, you got to be sitting there thinking, man, I wish Goldango was on the other side, because it's Lopunny food. It will just die to a close combat.
But again, you do need Lop because you need the fake out. Like, faking out the jug is super nice. You get the sunny day up if you play your cards right and don't get destroyed by air slash jug. Like, there's some reasons to run something other than arrow in that 6th slot, because like follow me war turtle is pretty nice. If you can get it off. You do have the dual fake out with the Grimstar and Lopunny, but like Grim doesn't want to run fake out.
So I actually do think I have a lead here for Aegis that's very, very good into a lot of the leads that Big E can produce. You just lead Lopunny, Meowscarada, because you can, I mean, if you see that this Jugulus isn't booster, you can just end up, clicking triple axle into it, and that's going to take it out. Or if you see that it is booster, you can fake out triple axle and potentially, be forcing Big E into a protect situation, which is really, really huge. Like, that's a really strong lead. Obviously, Scizor Jugulus lead is a little bit rough into that, but I mean, Jugulus paired with anything else besides Sneasler. Like, Sneasler and Scizor are your two biggest issues with that lead, but everything else you have stuff to threaten into. And I think that's really, really big for Aegis here. Is just trying to find those other leads that you look at the team and you're like, okay, where are the lead issues on this team and where can I capitalize on it? Because I think there are, I think if Aegis gets the lead right, they're in such a phenomenal position here. Or if they get Grimmsnarl going, they are in such a phenomenal position here.
Yeah, this one's hard to call for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those where I think that Biggie just has an easier time winning. And I think Biggie, went from starting 0-3 to winning 3 in a row. He's definitely comfortable with his team. But Aegis is a lot of really scary threats. And again, that Entei and the Sun is really strong. These top 3, and by lesser extent, Meow and Lop are so scary. It's a really tough one.
Yeah, because you don't really have a super consistent Entei out other than Politoed, and that feels so bad. I mean, your out is Dire Claw Prey, but
yeah,
games have been won by Dire Claw Prey, so it's definitely possible. This is a weird one because I think if Aegis gets the leads right, they win every single time, but I think if they get the leads super wrong, they are just done for.
Yeah, but aren't you building with them? Can't you just tell them the right leads?
I probably can. I haven't built with him for the last couple weeks though, just because I've been so busy.
You built with him all of last season though, and so
last season I built for most of them. So I could talk to him about it because he does ask for team help sometimes. I'm just busy. So I could help him with leads.
Bro, I've already disconnected from Discord 5 fucking times since we started talking about this team. What is going on?
Yeah, it's peak. I'm gonna stick by my friend. Give me Aegis to win this one.
I think
ignore that I'm saying that literally because it also benefits me more.
You have convinced me. I think Aegis. Aegis has the matchup. Aegis has you in the corner, but Big E is really has come into his own.
Yeah, Big E is one of those coaches that's a sleeper for could be top tier coach. Could win a season if he's given the right team. And while I don't think this is the right team, I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is his team. But he has made it look damn good.
Yeah. But also, I mean, I did see he won last 3 weeks in a row. He beat Pyrus, he beat Warui, and he beat Kathy with thanks to a double freeze. So, I don't know if that's a player thing or if that's a team thing.
The Kathy one was definitely a team thing. Warui, I think he played better than Warui. Pyrus, I'm sure he just played better than Pyrus, honestly.
Probably. And also just... I don't remember what his team looked like
no offense to Pyrus.
Pyrus was before
no offense to Pyrus.
transactions.
Yeah. No offense to Pyrus. Big E is just very, very sleeper. He could be one of the best coaches in a given season if he's locked in.
I don't know. This one's a 50-50 in coin flip in my book, but I think I'm gonna give it to Aegis on this one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, damn, Angus also had a game 3 with Lord Nobody. Angus is on the climb. Next up, we got Kathy versus Winda. We got gay porn in the building.
Yeah.
Let's
okay.
freaking go.
All right. So I'm going to peel back the curtain here a little bit. Out of the interest of me, who is not feeling well, and out of the fact I think it's infinitely more interesting if we talk about the actual playoff implication teams for a greater length of time, because I know this is one that would, we would spend 15, 20 minutes talking about and then be burned out for the last team. I am just going to say that Kathy wins. I don't care who wins. Literally anyone could win, and it changes nothing besides seeding. It's like on matchups like those, I just think it's, we can just move on. They're goats. These two are goats. They will get their flowers next week in round 1 of playoffs Pickems. But I think it's a little more interesting as a viewing experience as well if we focus on those who don't have their flowers yet and are looking for their playoff appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just briefly looking at these two teams. I haven't really looked at them much. I know that neither of them want to give too much away because they'll both be playing each other again in playoffs. I know that last season, Kathy won in both regular season and playoffs versus Winda. And I think these two are the best players in the league. I think Kathy is ever so slightly better. But Winda is also phenomenal. It just comes down to who actually wants to win this. And I think the answer is neither of them.
I think it depends. I think the answer of who wants to win this matters a lot more after every other match is done. So they can literally pick, oh, hey, what matchup do we want in playoffs?
Yeah, but like these two are incredibly likely to play in semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, they're likely to play. And I mean, like you said, they're top coaches. I think
these are literally the 1 and 2 best players in the league, in my opinion. Maybe Gig is in that conversation, but these two are head and shoulders.
Yeah, I'll give my flowers one day. I'll be in that conversation one day. And by one day, I mean literally any other season than when I'm throwing the first half of the season.
All right, I think I'm gonna give it to Kathy.
I don't care.
I don't care too much either. All right, next up we have a Rat versus Gen. I'm gonna give it to Rat.
Yeah, I apologize, but I mean there are matchups that I think it's better if we just don't talk about them, just so we can actually focus on the ones that are actually interesting.
Yeah.
Granted, Kathy Winda is going to be a very interesting match if they decide to actually play it as a match.
But we'll see how you're feeling by the end of this, and then we can decide if we want to come back to it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, probably not though.
Probably
just because
not,
I
but
don't
we'll
care. See. All right, we got me versus Gig. This is a playoff implication match. For me, not for Gig.
This is
Gig
a win
is 6-0. Gig has lost 1 game all season, and that was last week to Winda. And I do mean game, not set. Game.
Yeah, 6-1 plus 18. One of the best records we've ever had in this league. If at this point in the season, I feel like.
You mean plus 11?
You're a 6-0 plus 11.
Yeah.
What did I say before?
18.
Oh my god.
He actually won. He did so well. We gave him a win on every week. Like he won an extra game.
We gave him a 3-0 every single week. You're right.
3-0. One week was a 4-0.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, we beat 1 to 3-1. That's what it was.
Yep. Yeah. True. Yeah. So we got this. You might be thinking, like with last week. Obviously I said I made transactions to something that's more comfortable. But you might be thinking, Cannor, doesn't Spam look better into this matchup? And to that I say, yes, this team just a fucking god-awful matchup into this team. Specifically because of Raging Bolt Rillaboom. Those are kind of the two issues on the team. Gig, by the way, elephant in the room. Gig did make transactions.
There's a Carnivine. Woo! Carnivine mention! Yeah.
Let me specifically pull up which ones he did.
There's also Wishy Washington now. There's Wishy Washy, there's Carnivine, and I think there's Mega Camerupt. And Camerupt and Wishy Washy go kind of stupid into you because Palafin is unbringable, borderline unbringable, but also required to bring because if Camel is in Trick Room, you just lose kinda.
Yeah. So, Gig's transactions were Tauros Aqua for Camerupt, Dredigan for Wishy Washy, and then pick up Carnivine. Now you might be thinking, Cannor, how do you win this matchup? I don't fucking know. You could say, oh, run Trick Room. Well, that's what I would think before last week when Gig made transactions. Now Trick Room stuff is unbringable into this, unless it's, just like these two prio spam, which is bringable. Sort of. It's bringable with like an asterisk. Fluttermane is obviously fucking incredible in this matchup. I really think there's not very many bad Fluttermane matchups, just because like if it's like bad offensively, it's a crazy defensive Pokemon. Incineroar obviously is really good, kind of. It's pretty bad into Clear
Boulder.
Amulet Boulder.
I mean,
the Trick Room
I don't know
guys.
how I feel about Flutter here, because Flutter,
It's mandatory.
Mimikyu, like you have to bring it up. Mimikyu is kind of scary, and you do have to. Your only way of killing it quickly is Flutter Lucario.
Kind of. It's kind of scary.
If you don't have the Flutter Lucario board state exactly, Mimikyu is gonna click something that Flutter does not want to see, either Trick Room or like Shadow Claw or Shadow Sneak.
Oh, there are leads that beat it. Like 100%, there are leads that beat Mimikyu. Palafin Lucario. You make it so Palafin's faster than Lucario, and then Lucario just bullet punches kills it. Like you can do that without it ever touching, being able to click like a Shadow Sneak to do chip damage or anything. That said, I think Mimikyu is kind of unbringable here, though. Truth be told.
Really?
For a normal person. For Gig, it's definitely bringable. And I do mean that as a compliment. That Gig is very, very hard to prep for.
Here.
But no,
Mimikyu is so good here.
No, Mimikyu's bad. It can't touch Incineroar unless it brings fighting move. Like it's only coming to click Trick Room and then it has to die, because then your other Trick Room stuff is behind. Like
you just click Trick Room and
can't live. It can't live. The issue is, even if you're clicking Trick Room and Curse, I mean, like I said, my Trick Room answer is just to click priority options. And I mean, I'm bringing priority options because there's Tailwind here, and there's a Raging Bolt that I think, funnily enough, I can outspeed if it's in Tailwind anyways, to just click the priority option, so it can't just go like, oh, let me Thunderclap. Even though if it's in Tailwind, it would never Thunderclap, but you get the point. You get the point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Palafin is pretty bad here. I just think you have to bring it, because otherwise Camel can literally run away with the game, and same kind of goes with Boulder.
It's like unbringable with an asterisk. It's like bad, but it's not unbringable. Just because
it's pretty bad, because these two shit on it. Wishy-Washy shits on it. Volcanion just kind of chills.
Yeah, but I mean, so here's what you can do. If it's bulky, like if this guy's bulky, you're able to do big chip with this. You can with these two, Lucario, Palafin. Palafin can pick up kills on that. I mean, even like if you get to a point where your Bolt is low or your Rillaboom is low, or like any of your Pokemon end up getting low, Palafin can just come in and just win the game. This is a very much a game of inches for me. It's a balanced team facing off against Gig's team, which admittedly is a balanced team as well, but has a little bit more potency to instantly, go like, boom, I'm gonna assert pressure turn one. That said, Gig does kind of have an issue with where do I put the thing that deals with Incineroar, that being the Clear Amulet. Rillaboom would like a Clear Amulet because it, ends up doing less damage into a lot of things if it doesn't have it. Flutter becomes a lot more annoying in the matchup if it has, if it has all that crap. Becomes a little bit, like if your physical attacker, like these two, if these two go down early or early-ish, Fluttermane can get really, 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 really out of control very, very quickly. Again, that's just Fluttermane as a Mon. It can get very out of control very quickly. Incineroar also, like, just funnily enough, I mean, if you're getting really low attack on your Boulder, now you have to be worried about Incineroar actually coming in and threatening damage into your Boulder. Incineroar threatens a lot of damage into Rillaboom. It threatens being able to play around Thunderclaps super, super efficiently into the Raging Bolt, to the point where he might not want to click Thunderclap, which lets Fluttermane come in and pick off in air quotes, because obviously it's not that easy, the Raging Bolt. Tornadus Tornadus is just kind of here to be a support piece. It doesn't do anything. Like, there's not a ton of Pokemon that it actually does damage into. Like, it does damage into Lucario, which is nice. Can get a speed drop on Fluttermane, which is death. Like, if it just ends up being Icy Wind Storm, that's death. But I mean, there's not anything I can do to play around that. Like, that's just RNG. Sometimes you just lose to RNG. Sometimes you live and you die by RNG. That's just how it goes. Obviously, the other four Pokemon that I haven't mentioned. Sorry, Suwaddle, you were only drafted because of last week. I was like, it's really funny. I could theoretically bring it, and then I did the Calix in it. Air Slash doesn't even kill Lilligant. Ignoring that, it's also slower than Lilligant anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Suwaddle is very sad.
Suwaddle is like, if I had an actual Sun mode, Swaddle's actually kind of real. Like Scarf Swaddle with String Shot, Electro Web. It is actually kind of real. Kind of. Real for a 1-point Pokemon, obviously. I'm not saying it's like the best Pokemon ever. It's 1 point. I've yapped a lot about this matchup. And that's really all I've done about this matchup. I haven't done a lot of prep. I've been kind of dreading it, truthfully. Because, I mean, this is a really, really, really hard position to be in. I mean, like, looking at this from, like, the narrative side, like, I've got a lot to prove here. I'm, 3-3, going to miss out on playoffs, potentially facing the strongest coach record-wise this season. But also, outside of the narrative of this season, this is, going into this season, my worst player versus coach matchup. I am 1-6 versus Gig in the regular season. Obviously, playoffs is a little bit different, where I think I'm like 2-8, because I think I faced him twice in playoffs, but I did beat him in Season 8 finals. So I have beat Gig when it matters. The question just becomes, can I do it one more time? Admittedly, I don't know if I can. Getting a little vulnerable for the entertainment factor. I don't know if I can beat Gig here. It's a very tough matchup, but it is very much not unwinnable. If there are mistakes, it is quite likely that I can just win the game. But if you look back to the last season, which this team is a variation of, I lost to myself in the games that I lost. I had game-winning plays, and I didn't do them because I didn't see them, because I didn't take time to sit and think through all of my plays. So it'll be interesting to see what direction this matchup goes. Pinky, who do you got?
I said this when we first got on the call. I'm sitting here looking at the matchup, and I feel bad because you did just, like, lay your heart out, really. And I know how much this means to you, and I know how much you want to win this. And that means I really want to be wrong. But if I just think about which player I think is more likely to win this, I think I'm going to have to give it to Gig. So I will be giving it to Gig.
Yeah. And as much as I want to say I'm going to go out there, I'm going to win, from a non-biased perspective, I think I also have to take Gig here. Because I think from a non-biased perspective, like, the matchup is just not favored for me in the slightest. But I've almost won unlosable matchups before. Well,
yeah,
unwinnable
I'd say this one
matchups,
is like, this is like 35-65 for Gig. That's my read on it, at least. All right. Are we good to move on?
Oh, yeah.
Wins this? Nobody wins this, and we're going into Wario versus Orange, our last matchup of regular season pick'ems. This is another one we talked about in call. This is a really spicy one.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Playoff implication match. So, this is a match that Orange needs to win. Wario winning this match means nothing. Orange needs to win this because there is a chance, like we were saying, him being on the wire, that losing this match could mean that despite his extremely hot 4-0 start, that he could miss playoffs. Orange is here looking for his first playoff appearance, so we've got a lot of motive for Orange to really come out the gate swinging, even though this is a Week 7 match, where he has been under the assumption, probably since Week 4, Week 5, that he is making playoffs. Now, Warwi could potentially say, hey, this is Week 7, this is the last week I've got, I want to go down with a win. Because if Warwi goes down with a win here, he ends up tying his record from last season, which is, nice, being able to show that you're not getting any worse, but you're at least staying on the same level in terms of your record. But, Orange has a pretty darn good matchup here. This is where I'm passing it over to you.
This is a really weird matchup, in the sense where for the first time all season, Wario's team looks real. This boy, pretty good. Am I the only one here? What's going on?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't hear Cannor feedback for a while. I'm like, what's going on?
No.
Swampert,
I'm letting you go off. I had my
Swampert,
yap.
really good. Hoopa, super good. Turtonator, kind of a real Pokemon here. Just a little bit. With the right set, with the safety goggles on, pretty good. Ogerpon and Talonflame together, and Scrafty a little bit, help you deal with this mouse hold, which otherwise, mouse hold, clicking Population Bomb, shreds this entire team. But Ogerpon can be able to take it away, super duper nice. Bronzong is really good here. So the game plan here for Wario is basically you lead like Scrafty Bronzong or something to ensure that Trick Room goes up. You click Trick Room, and you just pray to God you kill all these guys while Trick Room is up, and also you pray that you can get it up in the face of Indeedee, probably clicking Imprison.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. Those are my thoughts on this matchup as well, from Warwi's perspective. If you're looking at Orange, they have just a much easier time here.
They have Mouse Ape.
Annihilate can look really, really impressive. Scrafty, while being an essential lead, is in a tough spot because it has Intimidate. If they lead the Annihilate, you're in a bad spot there because you can't fake out the Annihilate. You can't do that. So Bronzong is going to be taking big damage, or Scrafty is potentially going to be dying. Then you have a Moongus for if Trick Room is up, which means you have to play random Moongus. Me and Pinky were talking briefly before the call as well about this matchup as well. We talked about a couple different matchups. About how Turtonator with safety goggles is probably actually your play here because it deals with Amoongus super effectively. Now, obviously, you have other things that you have to worry about on the team. Like you've got Heatran, you've got Undurus, you've got Comfey, you've got basically everything on this team to worry about. Voltorb isn't real. I don't think Swampert is particularly real in this matchup either, but it could legitimately come because it has some implications. into dealing with like Turtonator if Turtonator's wanting to spread damage with Heat Wave, but I mean,
You have a E-Tran.
E-Tran deters that.
And it's not like Turtonator gets like Earth Power. Yeah, I don't think it's Earthquake. It gets Scorching Sands actually, and Sonic Tantrum. So you could, like, T-Train is theoretically in danger in front of Turtonator, but you can also just kind of Earth Power it and explodes.
Right. It's one of those where you kind of have to anticipate the direction that the move is going to be. Rotom, obviously, I would say Rotom looks really good here for Warwi as well. Mouse Hold is kind of annoying just because it redirects the Will-O-Wisps, but you can Will-O-Wisp the Ape. You have Hydro Pump for the Heatran. Hydro Pump also does a lot of damage into Swampert. Obviously, then Thundurus is a bit of an issue, but I mean, there's not one Pokemon on this team that can deal with everything. But there is a Pokemon that also looks very, very good into Annihilate, and that is this mon right here, Florges. Annihilate doesn't really have a great way to just guarantee it's going to be able to live, but Mousehold does help with that. Amoonguss helps with that. So I think, honestly, if you are Orange, you can quite literally play this game with Mousehold, Annihilate, Amoonguss, and Comfey. But that is hard. That is not easy. There are much easier lines for you to do, as opposed to these four, which are just playing Protect the King. That said, Protect the King is very strong here. Annihilate, if it is allowed to just stay up and stay alive constantly, it is going to slowly gain more damage and more hits from Rage Fist. But the damage is going to go away because you have Pollen Puff from Amoonguss and you have Floral Healing, which is +3 priority off of this Comfey. So you're going to be able to just constantly have your Annihilate up, which makes it a lot of the burden is on dealing with Annihilate first. Which, if Orange goes with Protect the King, with these four, killing Annihilate means the end of the game. Orange cannot win with these three if Annihilate is dead early on. The name of the game this week is dealing with Annihilate before it deals with you. So for me, I think my pick for winning this week, and this is going to ruffle some feathers, this is going to be shocking, I think it is Orange. I think ultimately Orange has more drive and more reason to do well into this match.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think Orange... again, motivation is the big one. Warwi, I wouldn't blame him for being checked out for this season. Orange, you want to get the playoffs. You don't want to start 4-0 plus... it wasn't +8, it was like +5. You don't want to start off 4-0 and then miss playoffs. That feels horrible. I've been on the precipice of that a few times. Feels terrible. You don't want that to happen to you. So, I mean, Orange, I'd imagine he's going to put it all out there, try and get this win. And I like you said, I think he can do it. Protect the King is hard to play, but if played right, it just wins. So, yeah, that's kind of all I got to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Week 7 Pickems. And actually, using this, we can interpret who is going to make playoffs.
Ooh.
So, just to pad out the watch time, because we haven't talked about the other matchups much at all, we are going to talk about who, according to this list, will make playoffs. Obviously, we have the green teams, the teams that we thought were going to make playoffs.
I mean, this just means that it's Agus and Orange who get added.
Orange makes playoffs. Pyrus in this makes playoffs because we have Agus beating Piggy. Now, it just becomes, is it me or Agus? According to our Pickems, which, I mean, typically we are pretty accurate with our Pickems. That means it's going to go down to how much Agus wins by. If Agus doesn't win, this last slot is for Big E. Or, if I win, I just automatically make it upset of the century. Just make it in.
That's my goal.
So, that's kind of what it looks like. The prediction right now, because we can say this as your official UBL Season 18 Pickems playoff predictions. Gig, Rat, Winda, Kathy, Nobody, Orange, Pyrus. Are we... Okay, the question is, are we expecting me to lose 2-0 or 2-1?
So basically, the way that, for the audience at home, the way that Cannor makes playoffs is that Agus wins 2-1 and Cannor loses 1-2. Because if they tie differential, Agus is the tiebreaker, so Agus would make playoffs. Cannor has to beat Agus by exactly 1 differential, and the only way to do that is that if Cannor loses game 3, and if Agus wins game 3. Otherwise, if Cannor loses by any other metric, he's out immediately. If Big E wins, he's out immediately, and he loses. So, who's gonna be this last slot between Cannor and Agus? Honestly, I don't have any read. I'm just willing to let the chips fall and see what happens.
I think it's more likely for Agus to 2-0 Big E than it is for me necessarily to go to game 3. To be in that position. So we will say the official Pickems predictions, despite me being a co-host, now are Gig, Rat, Winda, Kathy, Nobody, Orange, Pyrus, and Agus. Of course, this could be wrong. Pickems are not gospel, but we are pretty damn close sometimes.
Sometimes. And then other times we're not. But sometimes.
See you guys in playoffs.